Okay, so uh, just we'll be going through multiple screens of different modules. So, like I said, I mean, we're trying to create a couple of network slice, couple of network service instances, and one end-to-end slice. Of course, this slice will not be able to carry 5G calls yet, but yeah. So the idea is to present the orchestration part of it. So as you can see in this figure, so it's having few horizontal layers. So right at the bottom you see is the telco cloud 5G core, and then it's CBND acting as NAVO layer, and then Flow One as end-to-end orchestrator layer. So BSS, yes, we don't have a proper BSS at the moment. So we start our demo like this. So this is the design time in the catalog pillar. So we will go through the we'll start from this having a look at the NSD, which is the network service descriptor within the CBND's catalog. And then we move into Flow One's catalog, how these NSDs are consumed by this slice descriptor here in the Flow One's catalog. Yeah, like you've seen in Antonios's presentation, we'll be aiming for creating two network services under this slice, NS1, NS2. So once this design time is done, we will move to some real action. Like I said, there's no proper BSS, but we will use Swagger UI to simulate that part. We'll post a service order using TMF641 specs into Flow One, as if a real customer has ordered for a network slice as a service kind of service order. And that will eventually come into Flow One, and Flow One will do a provide part of it, which will eventually trigger create of the network services and then instantiate them. After that, we will move to have a look at the inventory part of CBND, where we will see that this network service instances, how they're running the VNF instances. Okay, and after that, eventually we'll have a look at the end-to-end service orchestrator's inventory, how it shows up the end-to-end slice, and eventually the relations to the industry vertical or the customer that originally placed that order. Okay, so going back again. Yeah, so NSD from CBND's catalog. Okay. Yeah, so this is the catalog from CBND, and here in this demo, for this demo purposes, we are using this NSD. It's named Nuage VNF Palo. Okay. Okay. Let's have a look at the NSD, which is network service descriptor. So it's in YAML. This is how it looks like. Okay, and then we move into the Flow One's catalog, how this is being used in the delivery model of a slice. Okay, so this is a Flow One's catalog. We call it a design hub. So here, what you see here is network slice create. So network slice create that delivery model. Okay, now this delivery is phased. The first phase would be reserve, and in the reserve phase, what we are doing, we are creating some information. We are documenting some information already in the SRI, which is the end-to-end orchestrator's inventory. So SRI, and this information would be like the customer, industry vertical name, and subscription ID, product ordered, something like that. Okay, which are coming in the order basically, and then we'll be querying CBND to search and browse through all the descriptors that it has, and the VIM identifier, on which VIM we have to place it, the network service, and the VNFM identifier, and the SDN controllers identifier. Okay, so all these are done in reserve part of the delivery. This is one network service 1, and the same is the below one is a replica of the first one. So it's basically the same. Okay. Now moving on to provision, which is the next step after reserve. So reserve is like a preparation phase, and then in the provision, what we are doing is we are calling the CBND operations to create. This is where the network service is created, and then it's deploy. So yeah, so here you see map input params. What it does is whatever stuff this delivery process came to know in the reserve phase, that's what being mapped, and then once it is done, it initiates a deploy call with NAVO. Again, the second part of it is the replica of the first one. It's just doing the same thing for another network service. Okay. Now the last step is finalize. So once we do this deploy during the provisioning phase, CBND, after doing all the stuff, instantiating the network services, CBND will respond back with a lot of information. What as an end-to-end orchestrator Flow 1 will do, will document it in its inventory. Remember, the tree was only half made during the reserve phase in SRI. So this is where the tree is made complete. Okay. This provision RB, reserve RB are rollback phases. So just in case anything goes wrong in reserve, then the reserve rollback will be done. If something goes wrong in provision, then provision rollback will be done. Okay. So this is what we have seen this part. Okay. Now moving on to some real action where a customer comes up and orders a network slice as a service, let's say. Okay. So here is that simulated BSS part, and here is a service order. So we are using this 641 specs from TMF Open API, and we are using this post service order. Here is a service order, and like you can see, we are having for this demo named the customer as Uber. So the use cases like Uber is ordering a video on demand kind of EMBB slice. Okay. So I say execute here, and it immediately returns back with 349. In practice, this is the identifier that BSS will immediately receive. Okay. Now we go to CBND again, and things may have started already. Yes, you see this N2 and N3, these are nothing but network service N2 and network service N3. So NS1 and NS2, it's just named this way. These are the services that Flow1 has just instantiated. I think the instantiation, yeah, it started for N3, as you can see here. Let's refresh and let's see.
Din samtale satt på vent. You are now on hold.
Yeah, both of them are getting deployed. It will take a minute or two. Meanwhile, we go and have a look at the order delivery, how it is being carried out within Flow1. Okay. So this is 349. You remember that's the identifier that BSS got, and this is how the order has progressed. Okay. So like said, it's like exactly a copy of what you have seen in the catalog, what has been designed there, the delivery model. It's following the same. So reserve phase, and then the enrichment or documenting calls to SRI, the inventory, and then yeah, it's doing some enrichment calls to CBND to know these details. And yeah, and then at the end, CBND create. So this is the create of the network services, which has been completed. So deploy is going on. So it started but haven't finished. So that's the same view. Yeah, it's still getting deployed. By this time, in the in the SRI, this is the SRI, the inventory of Flow1 part, or the end-to-end orchestrator part. So here, this end-to-end slice identifier has been created. Okay, but if we drill down from here, so it's still nothing here. The end-to-end slice identifier has been created, but the network services are still in progress, right? So that information, this inventory still doesn't have. Okay, so it's one. Yeah. So now these both of them are running. Both of the network services are running. So let's see one of these. Now we are moving into the inventory part of CBND. Okay, so these are instantiated already. That's how it looks. So this is the network service, and this is the VNF that this network service runs, and it's running it on this this Vim, and VNFM2 is managing this one. So this is how it looks from CBND's inventory part of it. And then if we move on to end-to-end orchestrators, service orchestrators inventory, and remember this is the tree half drawn part. Now it should be fully drawn, right? So yeah. Okay, so this is the end-to-end slice, as you can see. So this is the network network services. This is 1 and this is 2, and then this network, each of these network services is running 1 VNF each. How we match that with CBND is like, let's go back here and let's have a look at this one. The identifier of this NS was 14A3 or something like that, and the VNF was 6265. So, and we go back here. So this is the one. So 14A3. This network service is basically running this 6265, and then this is the other one. This is the other one. So these two together, these two network services together is basically running this end-to-end slice. And if you go a bit up, then that slice is basically yeah. So it's the industry vertical is Uber here in this case. Going back to this one, so yeah, so this is all we have seen until now. NSI, this one, and this customer here is Uber basically. Okay, and we will come back here to terminate the slice. Antonio, over to Antonio's to show you some more details and what's more happening in the between the VNFs. Okay, over to you, Antonios.
So now we are going to see the VMs. We have already deployed the service. We have the two VNFs here, one VNF from exposed zone and the other from non-exposed zone. As we said, by default, it's not allowed to ping, but we configure automatically all the points into the panorama. And then now we can try to ping from VNF1 to VNF2. So just for this demo, we allow only one way from 10.55.0.2 to ping the 10.254.0.2, but not from the other side. So we are going to connect now to the first VNF. Let's use the IP. Then we try to ping the second VNF, the external network that they use, 254.0.2. So as we see, now this is allowed because firewall allows us that traffic scenario. Now if we go to the second one, we try to ping the first one, the 255. This is not allowed because it's blocking by the firewall. And also here, see the resources in SDN, for example. So we can see here, we have the different zones. So we see that the second VNF is in the non-exposed class. So we put it under the HSS. And then this is a network that we have already created automatically. Then here you can see also the VM has been already attached to that network, so SDN can see it. So now I give it back to Tirta, so to see that he can terminate the slice. So all these resources what we have created, they will be gone. So Tirta, please try to terminate the whole slice.
So we'll be sending a delete order, a terminate order now. Remember, we cannot terminate any slice, but we have to exactly terminate this slice 349, right? So, so that's the extra information going in this order, and we say execute like before, and in order management here. We get the next order in line 350, and here if we refresh, yeah, this is getting terminated. Both of them. So while they are getting terminated, this guy here doesn't yet know, so it still thinks the services are active. This inventory, the service orchestrators inventory, will get updated once those are really gone from the network. So it's still there. So if we refresh here, so that slice is gone. That is all. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so basically I'm showing the CLI of the firewall, and I'm showing those dynamic address groups here, so which are called VNF1 and VNF2, which have been created. So when the slice was created, these IP addresses, which was Antonius was showing, they was added into the dynamic address group with the proper name VNF1 and VNF2, and then I was doing the CLI comments when you was deleting the slice. As you can see, they are going out. These two IP addresses, they are going out automatically from the firewall. So whenever the slice is created, VNFs with the particular tags like VNF1 and VNF2, they are delivered to the firewall, and then it's when the VNF is deleted, decommissioned, the API comes to the Panorama, and Panorama shares this information with firewall, and appropriate IP addresses are removed. And as you see, it's only the ones which have been in the slice are removed, because there is the like 2020, 2020 here, and it still stays in the same dynamic address group, which is called VNF2. Basically, that's it, just to prove the point also of the from the firewall side.